Basically, welcome to stockmarketfunding.com. We started out today. Today is February 3rd, year 210. And we have Hary, Reid, your Democrats, and Mr. Obama once again coming out and talking about the prior year of everything that was done for the American people, and not only that, as how much help that small businesses have been given. And no, they have not been helped. They are not getting money. They are not getting what they need. They're not getting tax relief. They're not getting what they need. And basically, when I listen to the Hary, Reid, and the Obama, and the first question was by a young man there, asked a question specifically related, well, hey, guess what? Are you willing to revoke the Chinese, that's import, export, and that the playing field is not fair, and that our jobs in the U.S. go outside of this country, and that the U.S. is being taken advantage of, and the trade practices are being violated, and so therefore, what are you willing to do? Look, the problem that we have is that we need to make our own laws that corporations in America have to go by. And if you're, in my view, if an American corporation is going to produce outside of the U.S. and another manufacturer somewhere in Singapore or China or anywhere else in the world for that matter, then there should be a penalty. And there should be some kind of governance or governing about how we keep the jobs in America in our backyard. And that each state in the Union of the U.S. or wherever we produce our manufacturing is that our manufacturing is produced here and then sold abroad in an equal manner around the world. And if we're going to have this great connect of international growth between all the various different emerging parties, emerging countries around the world, then there should be an equal playing field. We sell to them, they can sell to us. But we manufacture here, they manufacture there. And I believe that corporate America should be penalized for taking jobs off of U.S. soil during this period of time. And during the hardship and with the unemployment rate the way that it is that we need to step up to the plate. And we need to do something now that changes this whole thing about all the American jobs that have left here, whether it's in programming, software, finance, you name it, manufacturing, big machinery, you name it. And basically, all of the stuff about what has happened last year, and then sneaking in the health care reform, but also targeting the Republican Party in such a way, was it right out criticism? You could say no, but was it right out about how he's still trying to introduce and slide in gradually and incrementally the health care deal? And that trying to justify, minimize, rationalize everything that's happened in the last year. Which in my view here, or our view at stockmarketfunding.com, is that these are failed policies because they were not the right policies that should have been done. And I've never in history, as far as my being alive for 50 years, and understanding the economic situations and different presidents and whatnot, there was a way that we could have improved this whole thing. And there were things that could have been done. And as these speeches come out, I am showing how the Dow is responding to the economic situation here. And what I want people to know is that we talk about deficits and we talk about spending. We spent the money the wrong way. Small businesses in America suffer on the verge of bankruptcy. And it's possibly and potentially going to have more bankruptcies in that small business arena. And I had a conversation with a very long-time friend this morning that some of you heard. And his comment to me was, and he's a smart man, he's a doctor, but he understands the economy. He's been a client of mine for 13 years, and we've talked a great deal about it. And he says, well, you know what, Mario? It's going to be like it was in the 70s. There's going to be more, because the commercial real estate market and the vacancy rate is going to increase because we are not stimulating America the right way. And how do you stimulate America? You stimulate the mom and the pop shops and the people that were innovative, who tried to cultivate a living for themselves and produce their ideas, sell their goods, sell their food, sell their entertainment, and that's what we need to do here. And we are going to pay a price, and the reason why I'm showing the Dow chart up here is that the Dow chart now, this is called the Dow component relative, it's all relevant as to how this is going to affect it. We got a downward Bollinger Band, and we're breaking a 200-week moving average on the Dow. Here it is. It's a 200-minute period moving average intraday. But since that speech came out, we have sold off. That means that people don't believe it. Because if they did believe it, we would be up 100 points on the Dow. So the Hary Reid campaign and the Pelosi and the Obama stuff and the big disconnect between Republican and Democrat is, what are these people doing that you voted for? You should ask yourself, if you ever hear this tape and you ever step in another voting booth, and if you don't know what you're voting for, don't vote. Because you better know what you're voting for and who you're voting for and what it's like. There are a lot of issues that are going on around the world, and the key focus here is that our manufacturing in the U.S. is not stable, in my view. And we already have the higher unemployment rate that I believe could go to 11% before we start adding other stimulants. That's another part of their plan, is to add more stimulants. While the banking system got enough stimulants, but they didn't pass it on to the general population to fuel the small business environment. That's why the jobs aren't improving. They can't hire. They're not getting money. They're not getting relief. So what is their existence going forward over this year, which 2010 will be a tremendous, difficult year? Because what we're going to end up doing is taking what has already failed in the background with the TARP, and then we're going to be raising taxes, and then we're going to get inflation that's going to get out of control later in the year, and in 2011 and 12, God knows how high that's going to go. And so basically, what I'm hearing out of the Mr. Obama and the Mr. Reid is a lot of a justification and minimization. Look, if I throw enough money on something, I can turn things around, but it's not being done the right way. And you see, anytime you try to buy your gross domestic product, after it's been bought, the Novocaine wears off, and we're going to have another bigger problem down the road. And the thing about it is, you can make a great fortune off of those failures when they come. Because over time, over the next 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months, so it's 9, 12, and then further out the 9 months thereafter and 18 months,